Good morning, good morning, good morning, and thank you guys for joining us. We see you are eager and ready to start CSUB. So we're excited to have you on. We're just going to have Melissa's going to go through a few steps, important steps for you guys as you guys plan to join the Roadrunner family. And we are a family, and so you are welcoming and walking into a new family that's ready and more than willing and here to help and support you. So I am Natasha Harris, your Transfer Student Success Coordinator and also Senior Admissions Officer. And I'm going to have the rest of the transfer squad introduce themselves to you guys.
I'm Melissa Mayfield. I am the CSUB Transfer Specialist.
Good morning and welcome, Roadrunners. My name is Marisa Ramirez and I'm the Finnish Board Advisor.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Callahan and I'm a graduate peer mentor at the Transfer Center.
Yay to our team. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and begin sharing my screen and we're going to go ahead and get started with our presentation. Okay, so first off, welcome again to CSUB. Hopefully you guys are familiar with the campus. If not, we definitely want to see your guys' faces for spring 2022 as long as it's safe and permitted. This is a picture of our beautiful campus. Look at all them trees. So what are we going to go over today? This is about your next step. So you've applied for spring 2022. Now, what are you going to do next? If you do not already follow us on social media, I would encourage you to do so. We try to make sure that we post all important events that are happening on the CSUB campus, as well as events that we host to help our students that are transitioning to our campus, and then just important dates and deadlines. So we have a Instagram and a Facebook, and it's just CSUB Transfer. So I would recommend, again, that you guys follow us on social media. So what are we going to go over today? So most importantly, we want to make sure, are you eligible for spring 2022? We're going to give you the overall admissions timeline with important dates and deadlines and just a few other important information that we feel it's important for you to know as you transition to CSUB. So let's start with the first. Are you eligible for spring 2022? So first off, your 60 transferable units had to have been completed by summer 2021 in order to be eligible for admission purposes for spring 2022. Secondly, within those 60 transferable units, you must have your Golden 4 classes completed with a C- or better by that summer 2021 term. Those Golden 4 classes are your oral communication, your written communication, your critical thinking, and your college level math course. The third requirement is that you must be earning an associate's degree for transfer. So that's an Associate of Arts for transfer or an Associates of Science for transfer from a California community college by fall 2021. And then lastly, you want to make sure that you are submitting your transcripts and test scores, if you have them, by all posted deadlines. That's a big one. You want to make sure that you're not missing deadlines, and we're going to go over what those deadlines are. So this is just a brief overview of what to expect in the admissions process. I will go into this in greater detail. But from September 1st through November 1st, you're submitting your intent to enroll. Your official transcripts and test scores are due by October 1st. Beginning October 1st, what we're kind of doing on the back end of things is we're validating that admissions, meaning what you put in the application matches those transcripts that you're submitting to us. Our Office of the Registrar team will begin posting your transfer work so that you are ready to meet with an advisor at CSUB, and then registration will be in mid-November. So let's go ahead and go through that in a little bit more detail. So if you have not done so already, I would encourage you to log into your MyCSUV. Your MyCSUV is your student portal. It has all sorts of important information in it. It has the status of your application, your to-do list. So what is the university asking for you to submit? Any holds that may need to be taken care of are listed in there. Your financial aid package will also be in there. It's also where you're going to register for classes. So if you haven't logged into your MyCSUV, I encourage you to do so. You should have received an email from the Office of Admissions acknowledging that we have received your application, providing you with your CSUV ID number, and then instructions of how to log into your MyCSUV. Just note the first time that you log in, I think it asks you a couple default questions that you have to answer, or I think you can bypass them and say, go to my student portal. So there might be a couple questions the first time you log in before you get to a screen that looks like this. So let's go over what admission statuses you can have and what they mean. And your admission status, when you log into your MyCSUV, if you go all the way down to the bottom of the screen, that's where you're going to see your application for spring 2022 and the admission status. So the first one you're going to see right here is in evaluations. That's how the application comes into our system. And that means we're in the process of looking at it. One of the things to be mindful of is you want to take a look at your to-do list section, which is in the right-hand column, and any documents that are being requested of you, you want to make sure that you pay attention to that deadline and begin submitting your documents if you haven't done so already. Sometimes the Office of Admissions is not able to make an admissions decision off of your application. And so they will put you in where you'll see this little triangle. And that means, hey, we really need you to turn in those documents so that we can give you an admissions decision. So once again, double check that to-do list and look at what documents you're going to need to turn into us. The next status, this check mark here, means that you have been provisionally admitted to the university for spring 2022. Let's go over what provisional admissions means. So the Office of Admissions renders admissions decisions based off of the information that you put into the Cal State Apply application. However, we still have to verify that information to determine that you are really admissible for spring 2022. So your admission will remain provisional until we have your final transcripts that have all your grades posted. The next status that you're going to see, once you have been provisionally admitted, you're going to see in your to-do list what's called an intent to enroll. And once you complete your intent to enroll, your status, you're going to get this green circle. And that means that you have completed your intent to enroll, but you still need to make sure that you turn in your transcripts. Just because you do your intent to enroll does not mean that you get to bypass submitting your transcripts. Once the Office of Admissions has reviewed your documents and made sure that you still are admissible to the university and you have done your intent to enroll, it'll show you that your admissions is complete and you can plan on meeting with your academic advisor for your next steps. So you want to make sure that you're turning in everything that's in that to-do list, including your intent to enroll. Now, if you did not meet the admissions requirements for spring 2022, based off the information that you put into the Cal State Apply application, you are going to see this red circle with a line through it, meaning that your admissions has been denied for spring 2022. And we encourage you to go take a look at the admissions requirements to see why it was denied. If you feel that you do still meet those admissions requirements, and perhaps maybe you didn't enter your information correctly in your Cal State Apply, you have the option to submit an admissions appeal. Admissions appeals for students who have been denied will be accepted until September 30th. And what you'll need to do is you'll go on the website, you'll complete the appeal along with a letter explaining maybe what happened, what was on the application versus what's going to be on your transcripts. And the other thing, and most importantly, is you must submit official transcripts with your appeal. So If you just submit an appeal and you don't submit transcripts, it will be denied. If you submit transcripts, but you don't submit an admissions appeal, we will not review it. You must, if you are denied, you must submit an appeal form and official transcript for it to be re-reviewed by the Office of Admissions. So let's talk about those important dates and deadlines. So in your MyCSUB, on the right column, you have your to-do list. It looks like this. And it'll tell you that we are asking for you to turn in your college transcripts. Those are due to us by October 1st. For students who have AP scores or CLEP scores, those score reports are also due to us by October 1st. We will not take your score from your community college transcript. You must go to College Board and send an official score report to us directly. All of those documents are due to us by October 1st. And now, one of the things you're going to ask is, how do I know when you guys received my transcripts? Well, you are going to go ahead and click on this More button, and you will see something that looks like this. And if your status is initiated, that means that CSUB does not have your transcripts. It will get changed to received once the CSUB Office of Admissions has received those official transcripts. So you can review the status of your documents by clicking the More button in your to-do list. So the next important deadline, once you have been offered provisional admission, is submitting your intent to enroll. Your intent to enroll is a $100 fee that's non-refundable that goes towards the fees for your first semester of spring 2022. This basically says, yes, I am coming to CSUB. Here's the $100 to secure my spot. The deadline to submit your intent to enroll is November 1st. And once you click on the intent to enroll in your to-do list, you are going to be taken to a screen that's going to show you 4 options. And I want to make sure we're clear on those options. The first one says, yes, I plan on attending CSUB's main campus, meaning the campus up in Bakersfield, and I'm going to pay my $100 fee. The second one is, yes, I plan on attending main campus, but I want my financial aid to cover that $100 fee. The third option is just for our students who are attending the CSUB Antelope Valley campus. They would select that third option that lets us know that they are attending the Antelope Valley campus of CSUB. And then the last option is that if you have changed your mind and you do not intend on attending CSUB for the spring 2022 term, you would select no, I'm not attending. You must save this page, click the save button before leaving the page. Otherwise, it will not save that information in the system. Some of the other features that are in your MyCSUB that are important for you to be mindful of is that under the academic section in your MyCSUB, you can click the drop-down menu, and one of the options you're going to see is your transfer credit report. And this is what a transfer credit report looks like. What this is that once students have been provisionally admitted to the university, you have submitted your intent to enroll, and you have submitted your transcripts, the Office of the Registrar is going to post your transfer credit report. And what that is they're going to take the classes that you took at your community college, and they're going to begin giving you credit for what they are at CSUB. This must be done in order for transfer students to meet with their advisor. So that is why it is important that we receive all your test scores and all your transcripts by the October 1st deadline. I do actually want to make a note for my Bakersfield College students, Porterville College students, and Saracoso students. Please note that if you took a class at a different institution, so let's say you're a BC student and you took a Porterville class or you took a Saracoso class, you need to order a transcript from each one of those institutions. I know when you look at your unofficial transcript, you can see all your classes there, but when you order an official transcripts, only your Bakersfield College classes are going to show. So if you took classes at another institution, you need to order those transcripts to be sent to us. Another feature that is located in your MyCSUB under the academic section is your academic requirements. What this is this shows you what you have left to complete to earn your bachelor's degree at CSUB. Now, your transfer credit report, once it's done, is going to show that you have those lower division general education classes done from your community college, and it's going to show you that you have your upper division classwork to complete. So this is what your advisor is going to use to make sure that you're on track with your plan, but it's also something I encourage you guys to be familiar with so that you know that you're on track towards graduation and earning that bachelor's degree. So once you've you've been offered your provisional admission, you've turned in your transcripts, you've completed your intent to enroll. Now the Office of the Registrar has posted your transfer credit report. Now it's time for you to meet with your advisor and then register for classes. So our incoming transfer students will begin meeting with their advisor and registering for classes mid to end November. And you will be receiving a communication through Runner Connect. Runner Connect is the system that we use to communicate to our CSUB students. So your advising center will send you an email through Runner Connect letting you know how to schedule an advising appointment. One thing that I will make note of is sometimes our CSUB emails get routed into your spam folder. So get in the habit of checking your spam or your junk folder pretty regularly so that you're not missing out on any communications that have dates and deadlines or things that you need to get accomplished. And then the other thing I want to make sure that you're aware of is that if you do not register for classes for spring 2022, your application will be discontinued. What that means is that you cannot skip your spring 22 semester and then say, okay, I want to start taking classes in fall 2022. You would need to reapply to the university for the fall 2022 term if you wanted to do that. Your application is only good for spring 2022. The last important deadline that I want to make sure that we go over is your final official transcripts are due to the university January 14th, 2022, with your fall 2021 grades posted and your associate's degree for transfer degree, it needs to be awarded to you. Now, I want to make perfectly clear that if you are still taking classes for fall 2021, you are still required to submit your original transcript to us by October 1st. Do not wait till this January 14th deadline to send us a transcript. Your application will be discontinued in our system for not adhering to that October 1st deadline. So even if you are still taking classes, you must submit an official transcript. Transcripts can be sent electronically from your institution directly to CSUB, or they can also be mailed. We will not accept transcripts that are emailed to the student and then forwarded to CSUB. Those are not considered official transcripts. They must come directly from the institution to us. So some other important items to be mindful of is get in the habit of checking your to-do list regularly. Not only does the Office of Admissions use your to-do list, but financial aid uses it as well. And that brings us to the next thing, check your financial aid. So for spring 2022, that financial aid application was the one that you filled out last October for the fall 2021 term and spring 2022 term. So if CSUB was not listed in the school section, you want to go back into that application and add CSUB into the school section so that our financial aid department can pull your financial aid information and let you know what you're entitled to for spring 2022. Also, The new application for financial aid will become available October 1st, and that's going to be for the 2022-2023 year, and you want to make sure that you begin filling that out in October 1st when that opens as well. And then the last thing, once you have been provisionally admitted to the university and you've submitted your intent to enroll, your orientation information is also going to be loaded into your to-do list. Orientation here is a two-part process. There is an online orientation, and then there typically is an on-campus orientation. At this time, I don't know whether it will be on campus or virtual. It may be virtual, just depends on what we're able to do at the time. But orientation will be about the second week of January before you start classes. So one of the other resources that I want to make sure that you are aware of is the Transfer Resource Center. If you notice, my background is our lovely Transfer Resource Center. This is a space that opened fall 2021 that's available for our transfer students to come in, network, study, attend our transfer workshops that are just specifically for you guys, or talk to one of our transfer peer mentors. That's these lovely ladies that you see on the screen right here. These are our transfer mentors, and they are there to answer any questions you may have regarding transitioning to CSUB, or providing resource and guidance or referrals to who you need to talk to if you encounter anything that you're not sure about, okay? So please know that we have that. If you are familiar with the CSUB campus, we are located on the back side of admissions and records near the Veterans Center. And that's, if you go in the hallway, it's the first door, and you'll see our sign that says Transfer Resource Center. Some additional resources that I want to make sure that you're aware of is our cashiering office. That's where you would buy your parking pass or pay for any miscellaneous fees or something like that. Our CC Center, that's our career center. Transfer students, you are here for such a short amount of time compared to freshmen. Don't wait on looking into internships, looking into on-campus jobs. Having CC look at your resume. They'll even do mock interviews with you. Please take advantage of all the services that are offered through the Career Center. Also too, financial aid. So as you're going through the process, if there's a document that maybe financial aid is needing from you and you're not sure about it, this is their contact information. Or maybe you just have questions about your financial situation, you can go ahead and email or call them. And also as well is if you are needing housing, we do have some awesome dorms, and I would recommend that you check them out. Priority is given to freshmen, but that doesn't mean that there isn't space for our transfer students. So if you need a place to live, definitely check out our housing website. And then the last thing I would want to mention to you guys is that if you are not familiar with the CSUB COVID vaccine requirement, I would encourage you guys to go to the website and read that information so that you are aware of what the vaccine requirement is and what your options are for attending spring 2022. So at this time, we're going to go ahead and take some general questions. But one thing I did want to note is that if you are always more than welcome to email us. So it's just transfer@csub.edu, or we do have a new website. It's just www.csub.edu/transfer. We do have a lot of that information that I went over on our website as well. So for right now, I'm going to stop sharing. And I want to go ahead and see if there are any questions that I can answer. You can either put your questions in the chat, or if you would like to come off mic, if you could use the raise hand feature, and I'd be more than happy to answer your questions. I will say that before we get into questions, if it's a question that's very specific to your situation, I would recommend that you email us at transfer@csub.edu. But if it's more of a general question, I'd be more than happy to answer it now.
All right. I know that was a lot. So Sierra has a question.
Hi. So once you completed your transfer or your transfer is now received and then you already paid for the intent to enroll, is there anything else to do except wait till October?
So have you turned in your official transcripts to the university?
Yeah, so it was in progress and then last time I checked it said received.
Excellent. So if it's in receive status, that means that the Office of Admissions does have it. As long as you make sure that if you had multiple transcripts, you needed to turn in one from each school. But if it was only one and it's now in receive status and you've already completed your intent to enroll, then now you're going to go ahead and that's what's going on behind the scenes of posting your transfer work and getting you ready to meet with your advisor in November.
Okay, and then if that pops up, it will be on my to-do list.
If meeting with your advisor is going to go in your MyCSUV towards the bottom, there is the advisor information. It will load in there, as well as you will receive an email via Runner Connect about how to schedule an advising appointment.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And advising probably will not take place until like November, just FYI.
Correct.
Sarah, what school are you coming from?
BC, and that's the only school I've gone to for community college.
Good. All righty, Kristen, Tanya, Jocelyn, you guys have any questions for us? What school are you guys coming from?
I'm coming from Taft.
All right.
I'm coming
Maybe
from
after-
ABC.
From ABC?
Yes.
Okay, good. Welcome. So you'll be at our satellite campus. Please note that orientation, you will receive a separate email for orientation. And also when you're doing your intent to enroll, there's a little bit different information in there for you for the AV campus. All right. Let's see, Tanya.
I have a question, sorry. If we ought to attend the campus at the Avis in Antelope Valley, are we allowed to attend the other campus as well, the main campus?
For enrollment in classes,
Yes.
we prefer if you stay with that you stay with one campus, either the AV campus or the main campus class. You'll only be term activated for one or the other of the campuses, not both.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, unless there's a class that you need that's only on the main campus, you can request to be added for that class.
Okay, thank you.
So you're in AV too? Oh, we didn't even bring Maria on. You guys have your